Hey everyone, my name is Joanne Panzardi. I've been teaching at Cabrillo in the engineering department since 1995. I love what I do. Not only do I love teaching, but I love working with each engineering student to figure out what would be the best major for them and what was the best university to transfer to. Today's class of Engineering 5 is on engineering education. So I'm going to share my screen and pull up the module, Engineering Education with Joanne. And I'm first going to look at the overview. And the goals of today's class are threefold. The first thing we're going to do is just do a slight review on engineering majors and options. And then we're going to learn how to evaluate university and college programs. And then we're going to look at the required core courses you would take for engineering majors. And those of you who are high school students or currently in high school, I'll also review with you what good courses to take at high school to prepare for being an engineering major. This video is going to be split into 3 parts. So there are going to be 3 separate videos. The first video is on reviewing majors. So that's what I'm going to start with right now. I'm going through the course module, and you see that there's 5 different things that we're going to look at. And some of them we've already seen, but we're going to review them anyway. So the goal right now is for you to think, now that you've been more than halfway through the course in Engineering 5, and you've heard about different fields of engineering, you've done projects on engineering, and now we're going to do a little bit of review with the goal of you really determining which field or fields of engineering that you're interested in. So the first one is products. And again, I really, a lot of times when I'm thinking or helping engineering students figure out which field of engineering they want to go into, I think about the different products that you might want to design as engineers. So structures something that you're really interested in designing. Vehicles, are we really enamored with vehicles? Are you interested in sustainability or sustainable engineering? Sustainable energy. How about working on community systems, helping communities figure out the different types of systems that they could use in transportation or garbage or housing? Ag. Are you really interested in ag? We live in a community where there's a lot of agriculture. How about, are you interested in more medical stuff, medical devices, whether they're outside your body or things that go inside your body, like pacemakers? Are you interested in designing toys? Are you a really outdoorsy person? You want to design recreational products? Are you interested in designing pharmaceuticals, the packaging of pharmaceuticals, beauty products, electronics, and software and apps? And these are just some products we've highlighted so far, but there's going to be tons of products in the future as well. So that's one way that it can help you start thinking about which field of engineering you want to go into. Let me minimize this. The second thing I want to go to is the different industries that hire engineers. And I'm not sure if you've seen this yet. You may have seen it at the beginning of Engineering 5, or you'll see it again at the end. But basically, industries is a cluster of companies that work together to make similar products. So are you interested in working in the aerospace industry? You don't have to be an aerospace engineer. You could be a mechanical engineer or an electrical engineer, a computer engineer, but is working in the aerospace industry interesting to you? Transportation. And there's definitely blurbs here that you could read. They're on the module. Do you want to work in the computer industry? Telecommunications? Ag? The construction industry? The educational industry? Pharmaceuticals? And it'd be really good to read this over. Food industry? Healthcare? hospitality, entertainment, sports, recreation, news media, energy, manufacturing, the music industry, mining industry, working on the World Wide Web, electronics. And there are companies throughout Santa Cruz and Silicon Valley that are in various industries and they hire engineers. So that's something else I want you to look at. I'm going to minimize again, going back to the course module. So the next thing I want to do is show you a table that we created that shows many different categories of engineering. The bigger. So what we did is we separated all the different fields of engineering into 6 different categories. And I'm going to start from the right side. If you're very sciencey, very much into physics, more sciencey than someone who's interested in building something, then optical engineering, nuclear engineering, and energy engineering are more sciencey than the regular engineering fields. Then industrial engineering, and you will, by the end of this course, have looked into industrial engineering. They're managers of factories, managers of systems, make sure things are built efficiently, make sure that the people on the production line are happy with what they're working on. It's really a big field of engineering that's more of a management kind of thing. You'll see in junior and senior year in college, your classes are more business oriented than engineering. Okay, then it leads us with the 4 broad categories of engineering being civil, mechanical, electrical and computers we linked together, and then chem and bio. So I'd like you to look through this and see, because maybe you'll find that, oh, you know, these are some fields I'm thinking about maybe working in structures or designing structures, working in water or construction. Well, then that falls under the civil category. There's a mechanical category, electrical, computer, and then bio and chem. Now, you'll also notice that there are sub-branches or specialty fields of each of these categories that have crossover. So if you're interested in majoring in ocean engineering and you become an ocean engineer, you're going to be, it's under the civil category, but also under the chemical and bio. Or let's look at biomedical engineering. Biomedical engineering is designing prosthetics and orthotics, things that are outside the body or inside the body that they're really mechanical devices that have some electrical, and you also need to know the chemistry and biology for your body. So biomedical engineering is under these 2 categories. So I want you to give this some thought and think about which of the categories are you interested in and which of the areas underneath are you more interested in. Okay. Going back to the module. There is a website. There's a national website and a California website that talks about engineering careers and employment outlook. And that link I opened up, when you open this up, you'll see that the link is there, and I'm just going to open it up. So this happens to be the national one. And if you notice, it says US Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS, bls.gov. And you'll notice that there's a whole bunch of architecture and engineering occupations under here. They give you a short summary. They tell you what degree you need and what the median salary is. But if you click on the link, you'll also get more specific information about job summaries and also outlook of the job for the next 10 years. If you look at this, you'll notice that there are aerospace engineers and then aerospace engineering technologists or technicians. When they call them techs, they're really techs. They work under engineers. And notice technicians only need a 2-year degree, not a 4-year degree. So almost all of you are planning on either you're in high school, either coming to Cabrillo at another community college before you transfer to a university, or you're going straight to a university, or you're a Cabrillo College student that's planning on transferring to a university, ultimately your goal is to get a bachelor's degree. So I would only look at the engineering. Don't look at the technician, because every field of engineering also has a technician associated with it. There are a lot more technicians hired on the East Coast and the Midwest than in California, but technicians are hired in California as well. Okay, going back to the module. And the last thing I want, so let's say, first we looked at the products that engineers make to see if which products you're interested in. Then we looked at industries that hire engineers. And then we looked at the different categories of engineering and the specializations. And then we looked at, you could look at these websites for both national and California that give you information about careers and job outlook. Okay. And now the last one is selecting broader specialized degrees. And I'm going to open this up. And normally I would do this with you in the class, and I probably will do it with you in the class when I see you. But in the meantime, let's just open this up and I could show you an example. So let's say you're interested in building structures. That's the product that you're interested in. You have a choice of 3 different bachelor's degrees that you could get. You could get a bachelor's degree in civil engineering, which is broad, and many universities offer that. You could get a bachelor's degree in architectural engineering, which is more specialized. And you could get a bachelor's degree in structural engineering, which is more specialized. And you notice a BS in architectural engineering in California, the only school that offers it is Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo. Bachelor's degree in structural engineering, the only university in California that offers it is UC San Diego. But for the broad degree of BS civil engineering, there are many universities that offer it. I want to go on and explain also that whenever you get a bachelor's degree, you always have a choice of 4 technical electives. And technical electives are electives that you get to choose, but they're in engineering. So if you're interested in designing and building structures, and you're getting your bachelor's degree in civil engineering, which is broad, you probably will take your 4 technical electives in structures. Okay? Where if you get a bachelor's degree in structural engineering, your 4 technical electives might be in wood construction or concrete construction. They would specialize even more so than structural engineering. And often students get a bachelor's degree broad, but that they go on and get a master's degree. Okay, so in structures, you could get a bachelor's in civil, which is broad, but you could take your 4 technical electives in structures. And then if you want, you could go on and get a master's degree in civil engineering that's only in structures. Or you could get a bachelor's in architectural or a bachelor's in structural engineering. And you may ask, well, what's the difference? The idea is that structural engineering, you will learn a little bit about soil that you would learn in civil engineering, but only in the context of building structures. It's really going to focus on structures. A bachelor's degree in architectural engineering is also focused on structural, but more with an architectural and more artistic bent, meaning how things look. And the civil engineering really covers everything. Okay, so let's say another option. Let's say you're interested in doing robotics. It's the same kind of thing. There are 3 different, actually, there's 2 different degrees you could get. Oh, wait. Sorry, let me go up here. Someone suggested, why don't you get a BS in construction engineering? Construction engineering is overseeing how the construction is done on a job site. You're not designing. You're not designing at all. You're really doing production management, product management. Production management's better. Okay, if you're interested in robotics, you could get a bachelor's degree in mechanical, which is broad. You could get, which is offered at many different universities. Mechatronics in California, it's Chico, UC Santa Cruz, and CSUMB, Monterey Bay, which just started a mechatronics program. Same kind of thing. You can take your 4 technical electives in electronics and mechatronics, or you get the specialized degree. Someone suggested electrical engineering. But typically in robotics, the main thing that you're designing is actually a mechanical engineering, a mechanical device. So you wouldn't get a BS in EE if you want to be designing robotics. You could get an electrical engineering degree and you might be working on robotics. But it's not a guarantee. Okay. So going back to the module, and like I said, this is part 1 of the video. What I want you to do now is look at the homework assignment. And the first part of the homework assignment is called selecting majors. And I'm going to ask you about products that you're interested in, which industries you're interested in, which categories and specialization you're interested in. And you could decide all that based on looking at this website and see what the course outlook is. And then I want you to tell me what kind of majors you're interested in. Okay, so I'm going to stop here for this and end this first video.